How are y'all doing today? Usually I start off the show with good morning, but we're actually live. I've been lying to y'all. I know it says live up there in the top corner, but I haven't been live. I am actually live today, and it is 12:05 and some change. So no ifs, ands, or buts today. Can't mess up. Actually, it's my show. I'll mess up if I want. Let's see. We've got a few things to talk about. A lot of the same old stuff. We're going to start with Braves. They've tied the Mets for first place in the NL East. Great news. Second take. I just wrote it all down. We are going to talk Vols. Yeah, that's what it was. We're going to talk Vols, and then of course, third take, we're going to talk Titans, and we're going to end it off with the high school sports as per usual. So let's get on to the first take. And like I said, I wanted to talk Braves. I think it's poetic justice. I can't remember who the guy was. I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. It's not my problem. But it was some sort of wannabe, kind of like me, just sports reporter wannabe dude talking about the Mets. And he said that I think in May they were up 10.5 games or something. And he said that it was over. He said that the race was over then, that the Mets were going to win the NL East. There was a part of me kind of agreed with him because at that point the Braves had looked like doo-doo, and the Buck Showalter led Mets had looked like the team that would win the NL East. And honestly, I don't really think the Mets have been god awful over the past month or so, but I know the Braves just won 7 in a row. They've, like I said, they've tied for first place. And again, it's poetic justice because Mets fans jumped out of nowhere, threw a little hissy fit about being in first place in the division. That's all they cared about was winning the division. And I tried to tell some Mets fans, I tried to have some grown-up conversations on social media. I actually tried. I did not succeed, but I did try to have grown-up conversations with other people on social media. And I told them, the Mets can have the division. You can have this NL East crown that you so desperately need. The Braves don't care about that. I think the Braves care about winning another World Series. Now, of course, now the Braves look like they might win the division again. And how funny would it be when – and now I know other Braves fans, they want to win the division. I know the Braves want to win the division. Don't get me wrong. But the real goal is the World Series. It's not the division. You've got, 6 division winners every year in Major League Baseball? You get 6 division winners. You have 1 World Series winner. That's what the Braves want. I think the Braves want a World Series. Give the Mets whatever they want. If they want their little cute little Burger King crown, give it to them. Who cares? But the Braves have no business whatsoever being in a tie for first place because I do think the Mets have played better, at least up until recently. But now figure it out, and they're getting hot. Guess what? Mike Soroka's healthy too. Not healthy yet, but he's getting there. Mike Soroka's getting healthier. This Spencer Strider kid shows up out of nowhere. He's like 5'7". He throws 100 miles an hour, and he's got a mustache that looks like it's straight out of Tombstone. And then you've got Michael Harris, who, if not for Spencer Strider, would obviously win NL Rookie of the Year. But because Strider is also a rookie, these two are going to have to share that award. I hope that's what happens. I hope they get to share it. I hope nobody wins it over the other because they have both been phenomenal. And if the season started when they both showed up in Atlanta, they would have both been all-stars this year. They've been fantastic, and there's no way that the Braves are where they're at without those guys. Matt Olson's starting to pick it up. We knew he was going to bat about 250 with some power and play great defense. That's exactly what he's done all year long. Austin Riley's an MVP candidate. Dansby Swanson statistically is the best shortstop in baseball, and that makes me sick to my stomach to say that out loud. I'm not a huge Dansby Swanson fan. I think you guys know that, but he's been really super consistent this year. Great. Awesome. Hopefully he continues to do that. He's going to get paid this year, probably by the Braves. Hopefully not too much money. But Max Fried could win a Cy Young. I mean, Alcantara stats, and there are other people that have great stats. Kyle Wright's leading the majors in wins, or was tied for the major league leading wins. He had a rough start against Oakland. Regardless, Braves are starting to figure it out. And I'm just telling you right now. Morton is in his late 30s. It takes him a few starts to get going. He did the same thing last year. He done it this year, and now he's pitching like the Charlie Morton that gets paid $15-20 million a year. Max Fried, like I said, might win a Cy Young. He's probably going to win one day. Spencer Strider should be Rookie of the Year. Mike Soroka's on the way back. Kyle Wright is tied for the major league lead in wins by a pitcher. His sub-3 ERA before his start the other day against Oakland. Atlanta's heating up. The Mets have been as good as they can be all year long. The Braves are just now heating up, and they're tied for first. Poetic justice. Braves might not win the World Series, but they're better than the Mets. Get over it. So, what are we going to talk about next? I think I have to do, oh, yes, of course, Casey's Take, brought to you by DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective treatment using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522. We're going to go to a commercial, and then y'all hang out, watch the commercial. They're fun. You'll like them. Just smile, laugh, and then come back and watch the rest of the show. Thank you.
Here at Dixon Medical Associates, we've got you covered from neck to toe. Our orthopedics team offers services in sports medicine, foot and ankle reconstruction, spinal surgery, and more. We also have in-house imaging and physical therapy. Dixon Medical Associates. We specialize in what moves you.
All right. Well, before we get too far into the second take, because I am going to talk Vols football for a whole minute, I just want to say a few things. I told you guys a few weeks ago I was going to start dressing up this thing I got behind me, and I'm starting to put some stuff. As you can see here, I've got to figure out how to get the glare to go away, but I have my Chipper Jones like little photo thing there. It's got some sort of authenticity thing on it, so it may be worth money. I don't know. When we look over here, we have Ozzie Calrissian. That was last year. Whenever they put they gave Ozzie Albies the Star Wars treatment. I've got a football here signed by 4 Titans greats at receiver, including Tyrone Calico and Eddie Berlin. I love this football. My dad bought a car at an auction one time, and it came with the football. So he gave me the football as a little kid. And then I have one more bobblehead up here. This is a Tennessee Volunteers bobblehead, still in the box. This is great. This is great content, folks. This thing is so old. It's from when the last time the Vols won the national championship. And then if you look further back in the back, we've got some books. You can't read them, although they're super cool. The Sports Illustrated edition. One of these days I'll be able to talk. It's not going to be today, but one of these days I'll be able to. I've got a Sports Illustrated 60th anniversary edition. It's way up there. And then a Tennessee book, What It Means to Be a Volunteer. And then the other 2 books back here, which you cannot see, they're way too dark. I got to figure out a way to get them some more lighting. They're not sports revolved at all. They are the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 official strategy guides from the actual Modern Warfare games back like 10, 12 years ago. Those are nostalgic, and I love having them. I brought them with me today. They're sitting up there. They're still in the plastic, too. I never took them out. And I bought those both originally. They're still in the plastic. So I wanted to talk about that. And then what was the other thing? Something else cool. But I forgot because I was so happy. I wanted to show y'all my bobbleheads. I like the bobbleheads. Anyway, we're going to get into the second take. Vols football. Now, I told y'all, and I told a lot of other folks last week, I said, look, there's a very small chance that this game goes like it should. And I said the Vols should win about 55-10. That's what my score was. That's what I said the Vols should win by. They wound up winning 59-10 or 59-13 or something along the lines of that. So I was close. But let me tell you why this is important. When's the last time the Vols played a football game against anybody other than Tennessee Tech and the game went the way you expected it to? It was nice to see Tennessee actually look like and play like the better football team when playing an inferior opponent. Nothing against Ball State. That Carson Steele kid, that running back with the white boy with long hair, he's nasty. All right, I'd love to have him in a Vols uniform. They've got some other great football players on that team. Nothing against Ball State, but Tennessee's more talented. They're bigger, stronger, faster. They should score more points. They should score a lot more points, and they did. And I just remember thinking afterwards, and I wrote a whole article on it. I was like, is Heupel actually the guy? Is this how this is supposed to feel? I get it's Ball State. I get it's Ball State. Tennessee's probably not going 12-0. They're probably not going to the national championship. I think 10 wins is kind of a ceiling for this team. I'm hoping to get to 10 wins. I think it would be an act of God himself to win the SEC championship within the next 2 or 3 seasons. I don't think it's going to happen this year, but it's been a very long time since, as a Tennessee fan, I was able to watch a football game against anybody not named Tennessee Tech and feel like, hey, this is what this is supposed to look like. It went to the script. It was correct. It wasn't Georgia State. I sat there and watched that game, and I'm still in denial that ever happened. I mean, like, I just can't even imagine a world where Tennessee loses to a team like Georgia State. And then when you think about it, you think about the Appalachian State game in 2016. I was there. It took a what I think might have been a bad call by the refs at the goal line just to win that football game. Tennessee has never been a scheduled thing. It's not a planned out thing. Tennessee and being a Tennessee fan in and of itself is insanity. It's just uncontrolled chaos all the time. And it doesn't matter what happens. I mean, Tennessee decided not to wear orange pants to the Johnny Majors Classic against Pittsburgh, and there are fans on Twitter losing their minds that we're wearing white pants. Again, I understand that's very important to you. That's great, Tennessee fans. I don't want to start a war with you. I am one of you. Don't get me wrong. But there's nothing about being a Tennessee fan that is the way it's supposed to be. Nothing goes to plan. Nothing is scheduled. And it was nice to be able to sit there and watch a game and be like, hey, this is what good football teams do to bad football teams, which that hadn't always happened in the last 15 years or so. It was cool. I mean, it was really cool as a Tennessee fan. I was like, hey, this is great. Now, the bad thing is you wake up Friday morning and you've got, these idiots that are like, oh, yeah, Tennessee's going to go to the national championship. Tennessee's not going to the national championship. They don't have the roster to compete with Georgia or Alabama or A&M for that matter. It's going to be hard to compete with LSU. It's going to be really, really hard to beat Florida. That Anthony Richardson kid, the quarterback, he's probably going to run for 6,000 yards in the game against Tennessee. It's still a long way to go until Tennessee is a national championship contender. I don't think they're close. I think they're closer than they have been in a long time, but I still don't think they're close. It was fun to watch. I loved it. We're going to get on into the third take. Titans, they play the Giants. On Sunday. Of course, that's when everybody except for the Rams plays. The Rams and the Bills play tonight. I cannot wait. I've got a buddy of mine. I'm going to go over to his house. Of course, I just finished my last fantasy football draft last night. I've got 4 teams. I got a lot of the same teams on a lot of the stuff. And if you hear people hollering outside, I think they're doing like construction or whatever out by the road. I'll go out there and start hollering at them. I'll cuss somebody if I have to. They make too much racket. But we're going to try and get through the show without me losing my mind. So, Titans, they have won 6 out of the last 7 meetings with the New York Giants, except the New York Giants have won, let's see, they won 38-13 the last time the game was in New York. I want to say that was either a Mettenberger or a Charlie Whitehurst game, which is exactly what happens in those games. The Titans lose 38-13 or whatever it would have been. But this is a completely different team. The Giants are a completely different team. I will say I'm a little worried about DeBoll, the new head coach there. He was the guy in Buffalo that figured out Josh Allen. Josh Allen had all kinds of talent, but he helped Josh Allen grow. He figured out what to do to make that offense run well. Now he is in New York. Hopefully Daniel Jones continues to struggle. He only threw 10 touchdowns last year. That's crazy. I mean, I know he only started like 13 games, but still 10 touchdowns. He only had 2,100 yards. Saquon Barkley, we know he cannot stay healthy. I'd love to see Saquon Barkley stay healthy because he is super talented and fun to watch. Also a fantasy football weapon. I have him on one of my teams. But we've made it. We've made it, folks. I mean, really. I saw a TikTok earlier, and it was talking about football and colder weather coming up, and they said, "Hey, it's about time for big fellas because all year long, summer's rough on those big guys. We like it when it's colder outside. So I'm ready for colder weather. We've got Titans football on Sunday. I think the Titans absolutely destroy the Giants. I may be completely wrong. I may be way off. I've been wrong before. I don't usually admit it, but I have been wrong. I don't like being wrong. But there's a part of me that thinks Derrick Henry's going to run for like 150, 175 on Sunday. Ooh, that Giants defense, they ranked 25th last year against the run. I think that's right. I think I read that. How many upgrades did they really make to that defense? I mean, they drafted Thibodeau, but I don't think he's playing. I think he's hurt, right? So I think the Titans, listen, the Titans are going to win. And if I had to guess, I'd say probably something along the lines of 27-10. Derrick Henry, 2 touchdowns, 163 yards. Ryan Tannehill probably throws for $180 on 65% passes. I mean, who knows? I'm not really worried about Tannehill. The less he throws it, the better we are. So nothing against him. It's just, when you have Derrick Henry, you give him the ball. I am so excited. I'm ready for football. The Vols, like I said, the Vols playing well. Titans football coming up. We got Rams and Bills tonight, which is one of the best matchups you could ask for a football game. My computer screen is shaking because I keep hitting the desk. Y'all just going to get over it. I hope I don't give nobody a seizure watching this thing. Is there a dog outside? Whew, I don't know what's going on. Hey, we're in the nice part of the neighborhood too. It's crazy outside. I don't know what's happening. But there is one other thing I want to talk about this Titans game Sunday. I hope and pray. I'd love to see the Titans come out and absolutely put an absolute whooping on the Giants. And I'm talking like a 38-3 lead at halftime. That way, maybe, just maybe, we could see Malik Willis. I don't think they're really going to give him any type of special play or whatever to run. I think that would be pretty smart, and I would do it, but I'm not a football coach, so don't take my word for it. But I think it'd be great if the score got to a certain point where you could throw Malik out there and you say, "Hey, kid, let's go see what you got against some real defense." He's not going to be playing against guys that are getting cut. He's playing against 1s and 2s. That would be great. I'd like to see that. Also, I don't know anything about Josh Gordon. I don't know. Of course, I know his history, but I don't know anything about when he should be available to play. I don't know if he's ready to go now. I don't know if he's still working on an injury. I don't know anything about Josh Gordon. But what I do know is if any of you have seen those highlight tapes from, I don't know, almost a decade ago, you'll know that Josh Gordon is one of the most talented receivers in the game. I don't know if they're going to get that. Of course, we know what Titans do. They go out, they get Randy Moss. They don't use him. They go out, they get Andre Johnson. They throw him 1 touchdown in the Detroit game. Who else? Who else did that? Oh, Julio Jones. He caught 27 balls last year. So I know he was hurt the whole time, but Tennessee is where receivers go, especially old receivers, go to die. I don't care. We have Derrick Henry. Hand the ball off. Turn around. Hand the ball off. Give Derrick Henry the ball 600 times a season. He's making a lot of money. Super Bowl window is open. Maybe Derrick Henry, I think he's one of the best. Him and Aaron Donald are A1 and A2 to me as far as best football players on the planet. So if this is your opportunity to win, you give it to the workhorse. He had a weird injury last year. It was not because he was giving the ball too much. I think the Titans can do it all over. I know Harold Landry's hurt, but the defense did not go with Harold Landry. Harold Landry had a career high in sacks last year, and it still felt like he had 12 sacks, but I still felt like there's more in the tank for him. I think Harold Landry could easily get to 15 if there's just a few more times where he gets to the quarterback a little bit quicker. I think losing him, it sucks, especially because he's getting paid a bunch of money now. But Rashad Weaver's going to be able to play a little bit. Adeniyi, or I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's been named a captain. A lot of people like him on that team. These guys can play defense. Roger McCreary is going to be fun to watch. Caleb Farley's going to be healthy. Christian Fulton is cute. He's CB1 material. He's a shutdown corner. This Titans defense is going to be good. Derrick Henry's going to be good. Traylon Burks. Traylon. I don't know how to pronounce the first name. Traylon Burks is going to be one of the best receivers, one of the best rookie receivers in football, I think. He's not going to put up A.J. Brown numbers. I don't need him to put up A.J. Brown numbers. I need Derrick Henry to put up Eric Dickerson numbers. That's what's important. I also need the Titans to bring me home that trophy. All right. Let's see. That's it for Titans football. We're going to take another break. Y'all get to watch another one of these wonderful commercials. I think I'm going to try and talk DMA into letting me do the commercial. Maybe I can run around in yoga pants or something. I'd look real good. But we're going to watch another little commercial real quick. And then y'all watch it. Don't leave the show. Not yet. I only got a few minutes left. Y'all come back. Watch the rest of the stuff, the high school sports, most important stuff of the day. So y'all stay right here. We'll be right back.
At Dixon Medical Associates, your health is our number one priority. With over 40 providers, our goal is to bring excellent, convenient, and comprehensive medical care to our community. Dixon Medical Associates, a destination for care.
Now, of course, Casey's Take brought to you by DMA and DMA Orthopedics and Dr. Anthony Tropiano. Dr. Anthony Tropiano provides patients with prompt, effective medical care, including using the best technology available and in a manner that is compassionate and understanding of their needs. Dr. Tropiano is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon. Call 615-441-4522 today. That's 615-441-4522 today. You may find a few different phone numbers that you can call them for. Everybody's got a cellularized computer in their phone or in their pocket now, so you can just look up a phone number to call. Hit them up. Tell them I called you. One of these days, I'll be able to do that DMA read without screwing it up. I got about halfway through it, and I was still staring at the screen, and then, screwed it up. And I knew it was coming, too. I messed up a few words. But that's all right. Hopefully, Dr. Tropiano ain't too mad at me. All right. Let's see. Hey. Fourth take, final take, always the same take, high school sports. It's actually one of my more favorite things to talk about this week because there's something I wrote my pick'ems last week, and I said that that Dixon was going to beat Overton. Overton beat Dixon 35-0. I was completely wrong. Here's the problem. I still think Dixon's a better football team. I know Overton played better, but after about 5 minutes, the Dixon that I'd seen a few years ago and last year, that's the Dixon that was on the sideline. You had a lot of players that weren't very happy about being there, didn't want to be there, throwing helmets, throwing gloves, throwing fits. If the Dixon County team that played week 1 and week 2 shows up, I think they beat Overton. Overton's a good football team. Nothing against Coach Broom, nothing against any of those guys. The two running backs that I wrote about, Smash and Dash is what he called them. Two very talented running backs. That offensive line played really well. The defense obviously played well, didn't give up a single point to Dixon. Cougars did not have a lot of offense at all. Dixon did not play well at all. They were bad. They were really, really bad. But I still think somewhere in that team is a winning football team. And I don't know what it's going to take. I'm not a football coach. I'm just not. But Coach Tomlinson, it's somewhere, hopefully he can figure it out. And that's I told everybody, I called into our radio show, our show that we do on Fridays for Friday Night Football. And I told them same thing I'm going to tell you. There needs to be a serious culture change at Dixon County High School. And I think Tomlinson is at least on the right track, and he was up until at least last Friday. I know last Friday was just rough, and I don't know how practices went this week so far at the school. We've had a busy week. It's hard for me to get by for practice, but Dixon's got an opportunity this week. Another strong opponent in Clarksville. They're Dixon to be on the road at Clarksville. Who knows? Maybe they can start to get everything turned around. I don't know. Man, I swear, I know y'all think something's in my beard right here. I'm just getting old. This is gray hair. That's all that is. There's nothing. I know it looks weird. I don't know. Come on in. We got people talking all the time. But I think Dixon should have won that game. Creekwood, on the other hand, I projected Marshall County to beat them pretty good. I was at their game last year. Marshall County did beat them pretty good. But this year, it took a last-minute field goal for Marshall County to beat Creekwood. So, hey, maybe the Red Hawks are starting to figure something out. I don't know. Again, they're 1-2. A long way to go for the end of the season. They've got another really strong opponent. Creekwood's playing Pearl Cone this week. Creekwood will also be on the road at Pearl Cone. We've got a photographer we're sending out there, so we'll have some photos of both teams, the Firebirds and the Red Hawks. So excited to see how those photos come out. We've got a new guy, Shane Rye. We're sending him out there Friday night to shoot that Creekwood game. He takes wonderful photos. I actually messed up one of his photo packages from last week. It was a soccer photo package. I wish everybody would have got to see it. He does. He takes great photos, and that's huge help for me here in Dixon. So that, and then let's see. I got another email. I had to close that out. Over in Cheatham County, let's see. Tonight, actually, Cheatham is playing at East Robertson. I hope we've got somebody out there to cover that game. Let's see. Cheatham 1-2. Their one win was against Glencliff, who is not very good. But let's see, the Cubs. I know they're fighting a lot of injury issues right now. That's what Coach told me. I hate that for them. Those are some really good kids on that team. You know, I know those kids, and I kind of feel bad for them because they're low on bodies right now, and it's hard whenever, like last week, they had a team in White House come in. White House is just, they're big anyway, but they've got a lot of guys. And then the other game, which I'm going to miss, but Friday night is Harpeth and Sycamore. I was planning on going to that game, but then I was asked to help do our football Friday night show. So I'll actually be doing more of this on Friday night, and I'm going to miss the Harpeth Sycamore game. Sycamore, though, they've struggled so far this year. They're 0-3 so far. But in county games, they get wild. They are playing Harpeth, and Harpeth has been really good. They've been really good to start the season. They're 3-0. They had a slow start against Whites Creek last week. I know Whites Creek's probably the most speed that they've ran into so far this year. So that was a little bit of a shock for them, but they got it figured out, got it going in the second half. They beat Whites Creek 17-6 last week. Again, they're playing Sycamore Friday night. That is the big game in Cheatham County. So good luck to everybody going to both of those games. Hopefully all the kids stay healthy. And also one other thing before we get done. Sarah Potter. If you're in Dixon County, you probably know that name. She is possibly the best athlete in the county, maybe in the state. She's a runner, and she don't stop. She just keeps going. She's as good as it gets when it comes to track. So she just competed and defeated I want to say a college junior, and she's a freshman, I believe, in high school. We're going to have an article about her in the next week's Dixon Post. Her mother sent me some information. The track coach sent me some information. So we're going to have a great story on her. And of course, we'd love to get the news on the people that deserve it, and she certainly does. She's talented. She works very hard. So be looking for the Potter article. That's a big one coming up. I got a few other things coming up. It's going to be really cool in both papers. I've got some really cool articles that are coming up. I don't want to say too much. I know the competitors might be listening. I don't want them getting in on my stuff. So we've got some good stories coming up though. So y'all make sure to check out Dixon Post, check out the Cheatham County Exchange. Follow me on Twitter. That way you can argue with me and tell me why I'm wrong, just like everybody else. At CVP51, that's me. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Today's show was much better than last week. This was a great show. I've got my stuff set up. I think I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to find some more stuff to set up in this massive thing behind me. We're approaching 30 minutes. I got to go. This is taking way too long. Y'all have a wonderful evening.